welcome back to the channel. Muriel from the Sunshine Family. Today touching on coronavirus Costa Rica. Today it's a weird date. It's Friday, March 13th, and I wanted to touch on this topic because it affects the whole wide world right now. And I happen to be living in Costa Rica, and I don't know exactly why you're looking for information about this topic, coronavirus Costa Rica. You might want to go to Costa Rica and you're wondering what is the situation there. You might be in Costa Rica as a tourist and you wonder what's happening in the world. You might be traveling. Basically, you're looking for information, and I think everyone is looking for information. I just want to open this conversation in the form of a video, basically to prevent panic, to create awareness, and to exchange information, because also a fact is that information changes every day. I love to check the BBC World News for most down-to-earth way of news, which I personally prefer. Every day things change rapidly, right? So I will touch on this. I will share some information that I heard this morning, and also as an expat living in Costa Rica, what things I do in my relationship with my friends here. So before I touch on that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this might be an awesome moment to do so. You will see a little icon here on the screen. Just tap it. It will ask you to subscribe, and if you also hit the bell icon, you'll receive a notification every time I upload a new video. Always information about Costa Rica, because that's why I dedicate my channel to information about Costa Rica, because I moved to Costa Rica in 2018, and it has been an exciting adventure so far, together with my husband Dirk and the 2 kids from the Netherlands. So the coronavirus, okay, let's stop thinking in panic, okay? This is my own thoughts. Muriel, stop being panicked. I am a mom. I'm an expat mom. I live in Costa Rica. I live in a small community, and I live pretty isolated. I don't have to go to work. I work from my laptop. It is that we have 2 growing up kids who go to school. That's basically like our touch of which day of the week it is, because we do not know it's Monday because it's the first day of work, right? We know it's Monday because our kids go to school. Well, the coronavirus has put the world upside down. Why I want to touch on this is because actually personally as a mom, for the first time since all time that the coronavirus has been in the news, I woke up pretty scared. And as a mom, I don't want to transfer that being afraid and fears to my children, because that won't help them, right? I think, and I know this now after a long discussion together with Dirk and one of our best friends who lives in the Netherlands, where we come from, the center of Europe, where there's a big pandemic going on. We made the conclusion that there are some awesome tips that you can do easily to prevent yourself, that prevent you from panicking, from, you know, going with the mass, like stuffing, going to the supermarket and buy all bags with toilet paper and rice and beans and stuff, because that's actually not the solution. That's the conclusion we came to. But I just want to open the conversation, share a little bit of my thoughts, and if you have any comments, please share them below. Let's open the dialogue here, because I think this concerns everyone, not just people who are looking for information about Costa Rica. So coronavirus, Costa Rica, what do I know? Okay, so we called with our best friend Carol in the Netherlands, because we value him for all the information he always finds, statistics, and he's very down to earth. So he said facts are that Costa Rica is actually still pretty safe. There are just 23 cases of corona confirmed. So he said actually where you live is pretty much nothing going on. But he said they're not really testing. So actually Costa Rica doesn't really know how much confirmed cases there really are. I don't say that this is true. I just said this this news came to me, okay? So I'm sharing, I'm exchanging. Again, it's Friday the 13th of March. I don't know what's happening in 2 days or next week or next month, or after a couple of years when you find this video. Corona might be a forgotten pandemic. But yeah, so what is actually happening? honestly, I don't know, right? And there's still not a cure, that's a fact. And it's spreading super, super fast in Italy and in China. So why did I got so scared, and why did I want to create this video on my channel about coronavirus Costa Rica for you to serve, not to scare you again, is because I think that fear is our biggest enemy, and doing blindly things that are not smart. That's why I want to open this dialogue, because fear is also just making you more vulnerable and more immune. That's just my way of looking at life and your body and your mind, how that's connected. If you start to feel vulnerable and afraid, you're more vulnerable to be ill, to get just a normal cold or whatever. But this video is not about how I think about the universe and stuff like that. This is about coronavirus Costa Rica, right? So I wanted personally as a mom to be able to do a conversation with my children so they feel helped and can actually put action on some smart things that can help them prevent getting the coronavirus, right? And that is basically that touching your eyes, so your face, and then specifically the eyes, the nose and the mouth, where they're sensitive, I don't know the word for it, but where bacteria can enter your body. That is prevention number one. Stop touching those pieces of the face. Well, if you start thinking about it, don't your face start itching everywhere? Well, mine does. Like if I look back at my other videos, I touch my face the whole time. So let's all be aware and let's train each other, your kids, your spouse, help each other being aware that you're touching your face or almost touching your face, and just be prepared that for the next coming time, a longer time, that this is something that you should be aware of, not to do anymore. That's period. Fact number one. Fact number two is that totally isolate yourself from your kids going to school, not getting anywhere, staying in the house, lock yourself up. That depends totally on where you are. For example, this is what our best friend Carol told us. If they would close the schools right now in the Netherlands, where there are a couple of confirmed cases, the museum are already closed. All the public swimming pools, library, public places are closed. But they didn't close the school yet. Why? All the schools are still open. Why? Because they predicted if they gonna proactively, prevention-wise, close the schools, then where will all the kids go when the parents have to go to work if the work is still open? The kids probably will be going to grandma and granddad, and that is specifically a group which should be kept more safe, because they are, you know, elderly people, like a risk group. Elderly people, newborn babies, and people with asthma and lung diseases and a weak immune system should be taken care of, and not specifically being asked to take care of the kids. So that is one of the reasons why they keep the schools open up to now. Again, I don't know how it's going to be like Monday. So if you start doing that, you get like a big distortion, what's the word? I forgot. In society in general. If people start going to work when it's not necessary to stay home because they're just totally not sick or not sneezing, it's better to go to work. That is how the situation is advised right now in the Netherlands. Now, I'm not in the Netherlands, right? I'm in Costa Rica. So what about the situation in Costa Rica? What can we do here in Costa Rica? Well, we are gonna talk with our kids to train ourselves for now and for a longer period of time to not touch our hands. Now we have this dilemma. Honestly, I was freaking peeing in my pants to send out this WhatsApp message to my group of friends we invited for tomorrow for a dinner party at our mango finca here, just to celebrate that we have a new rainbow hammock and a new roof. But yeah, you know, once in 2 weeks we invite like a bunch of friends, we make dinner, we hang out together, we make fun. And now within 24 hours, the coronavirus has spread. There is lots of stuff changing on an hour, in an hour time, right? It goes that rapidly. So yesterday we weren't even talking about it with our friends. Today, just now, I had this long conversation with Dirk's mom because she's 77 plus, and our best friend, on what we can do to proactively prevent that we are going to get the virus, right? So Carol advised us this: just don't hide, don't just do paranoid. It doesn't work to just stuff your house full of food and never have to go to the supermarket, because that's not basically preventing the virus. What does help is awareness, prevention. So help each other to be aware. We have to take care of each other, especially in small communities like the Santa Teresa area, that you stay home when you feel a little bit sick, sneezy, coldish, having a fever. Normally I'm the type of person who would say, what, I take a paracetamol and I go anyways, right? And I'm usually not that much sick. But in this case, prevention is best. Then it should be smart to stay home, not to spread the virus to others, but also for yourself, because your immune system is lower. So you can spread it if you have it, or you can get it, because this is another fact. A lot of people carry the virus, are actually ill of the virus, but don't experience an illness because it's very light, but they still can be contagious, but they're not aware that they're sick, if you know what I'm saying. So far, what they know about the virus is that it can only spread when being actively sick. If that makes sense. So if you're sneezing, so you have fever, then it's contagious. And when you're done with the symptoms, so when the fever is gone, when you're not sneezing anymore, etc., then you're not contagious anymore, right? And that was we were really glad to hear that, because we believe that one of our friends who entered Costa Rica a couple of months ago, she claims that she had the coronavirus without knowing it that time, because it wasn't, no one had heard about the coronavirus back then. She said all the symptoms that are common now, that everyone knows about the coronavirus, like a dry cough, breathing problems, and then high fever. She said, I had it all, and I never had it in that combination. It was really weird. So, but she cured, right? So first of all, we thought, oh, freaking hell, is she contagious? No, the story now, the facts are now, she cannot contagion other people. Of course, we can never tell 100% that she's had it. It is her own words. So in other words, the facts are now that if you do not feel sick, it's just prevention, prevent yourself. But also, we send out a message that for us, that we believe we are the first people who send this to our friends, that we are cautious, and also in avoiding physical touch. Like what we do here in Costa Rica. You see each other, you give each other a hug, you give each other a kiss on the cheek, and you say, hola, pura vida, right? This morning I was at my kickbox club, right? You have gloves on, right? But after training, you just greet, you bow, you do this, and you go to the teacher and you hug, you stand next to the teacher, and everyone bows and hugs each other. It's like freaking physically touching. And I'm like, should we stop doing this? It's a weird situation, right? And that's why I opened this conversation, because I noticed that I felt like a bit awkward to actually start acting on prevention, protect myself, and just do this, or just do like a feet hug, or make something funny about it instead of an arm hug and cheek hug, which is pretty close face to face, and which are the danger areas. It comes all down to how you act in times of unknown, no cure, and prevention wise. It's going to be up to you how you act. And again, not to be panicked, but you should be aware. If you see someone sneezing and I have to be in town, like for example, I go in town three times per week in Comino to do my shopping, and if I would see someone sneezing at where I pay for my groceries, I would just leave the whole supermarket. That is what I would do. That's like what I mean with awareness. Be aware of the world around you. Don't stare at your phone while you walk in. Be aware and just avoid people who are sneezing whatsoever. Not that they would have corona, but just be aware. And prevention. It's also martial arts, by the way. I did jiu-jitsu for years. Now I do kickboxing. You know, prevention, avoiding a fight is always better than having a fight and, you know, finding your way in that to win. Prevention, don't get the coronavirus, is always better. And it comes down to your own actions. So now, to get back to Costa Rica info specifically, if you are thinking about coming to Costa Rica, I would not, honestly, I would not fly right now. The reason I say this is because we even booked a flight ticket for our oldest. She's almost 16, and we finally made the decision, you know, you see, I am itchy in my face and I want to do this and I won't. I have a dripping sweat lip because it's super hot and I cannot touch my face. I don't even have a tissue here. I won't touch my face. This is like a of awareness live on video actually. So we decided whatever happens, even now the USA is shutting down their boundaries, not allowing people to trespass through the United States to travel to other countries. That includes our daughter. Even when the airlines would open up the flights again, we would not allow her to go because she is she's just 16. What if she has to go in quarantine in Houston? We cannot travel there. You are stuck. So I recommend you right now personally, you know, do your due diligence. I do not know everything. This is my personal advice. Don't go anywhere. Just stay where you are. Don't, you know, avoid public big places. That is what I would do. But again, Costa Rica right now is perhaps one of the countries where it's most tranquilo coronavirus rise. But who knows what's going to happen? Who knows, they have a cure next week, you know? Let's all pray for that. But I would just avoid being in contact with big groups of people, public places and whatsoever. But again, don't panic, be proactive. You can do a lot with prevention, creating awareness amongst your friends, like the way I did. I sent the group of people who I invited. Now I apologize for my sweat lip because it's really awkward. I feel it's dripping. Welcome in the tropics. But I just sent out a WhatsApp to say, hey, you know, let's all be aware. We're inviting you tomorrow. We're gonna have fun, but because changes are going so rapidly according to Corona, we want you to be aware that if you feel a bit sneezy, please stay home to protect yourself and others. And also that you should not feel weird about not hugging each other, but just whatever, do something else, and we can have fun together. And let's stick together as a community, right? So for all expat communities in Costa Rica, this is my advice. This is how we do it. We're not going to lock ourselves up. We're in this together, right? But also, especially here in Santa Teresa, it is like a cross point of a lot of trespassing tourists. So if you can prevent going to public places, of course, I recommend you to do that. But on the other hand, I don't want to say that out loud because I'm holding, how do you say that? Getting food off the plate of business owners. I don't know if that makes sense. That's a weird translation. I'm Dutch, if you don't know. So I don't recommend staying away from public places at all to have your lunch or drink coffee, but I think you should be aware if that is where you want to be. Funny thing is, and I think it's not even appropriate that I mention this, but I still will mention it. I have never been so grateful that I work online and I do not have to work with my social worker clients that I used to do in the Netherlands. Because where is the boundary? When I worked as a social worker in the Netherlands, I had to visit people who could not do without our help of the social worker. Because they would not shower. They would just, I don't know, they would cause a lot of problems if the social worker would not visit. Can you imagine what the pressure on the shoulders of social workers is right now, who should go to work, but are also afraid to be in contact with people because people is your business? My business is people too, but I only talk with them online. My business is fully online, and I never felt so protected by my entrepreneur business as I am today. But that's at the sideline. I just wanted you to be aware of that. The internet is also an awesome resource these days to, no matter where you are in the world, to get access to world news like BBC, right? So no matter if you're somewhere freaking in the desert, if you have like a satellite connection or Wi-Fi and you're a traveler, you can tap in this world news. So, you know, on our knees for the internet age, guys, and not just for the news, but also for all the other options. Exchange information, stay safe, stay in contact with your friends and family, create awareness, and share the word to all, you know, help each other around the world today. I think that's really, really important, to all stick together, make a fist, united. We are all one anyways. I want to thank you for watching my video. It's a pretty long video. It's a 20 freaking plus minute video. But I hope that my information about coronavirus, Costa Rica, awareness, don't panic, but be proactively in prevention, and yeah, that it helps. Let me know anyways your thoughts, new information, share them below in the comments. I will reply to every one of you. Hit me on Facebook, check the description below. If you want to chat with me on Facebook, there's a private messenger link there. And oh, of course, again, an invite to subscribe to the channel if you want to be updated about every time I upload a new video. According to Costa Rica, for travelers, for expats, you know, for tourists, I'm your girl. I do not pretend to know everything, but I promised you to share everything that I've learned myself. So that will be it for today. Pura vida. This is how I'm gonna greet my friends. Hola. Pura vida, or something like that, without touching. Big hugs, virtual hug, and thanks for watching. Bye. This was Muriel from the Sunshine Family.